Germany has come up with a new addition to their robotic systems called the Rheinmetall Mission Master CXT version. Before we fully dive in, please take a moment to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Mobitech for more. Now, let's get started. This new version is specifically made to deal with drones. Formerly, a laser system was used to shoot down drones before, but this time these German engineers tried something different. They put two powerful guns on this new robot. They're called miniguns. These guns can shoot a lot of bullets really quickly, up to 6,000 rounds per minute. This robot doesn't just work during the day, it can also do its job at night. And it's not just good at shooting down drones, it can even carry heavy stuff, up to a ton of weight. This robot is really smart too. It can spot small drones from as far as 5 kilometers away, and it can see big cargo planes from up to 50 kilometers away. Next, we have another mind-blowing tech from DRS RADA Technologies, a company that's good at making radars and electronic systems for airplanes. One of the cool things they've made is a radar called the MHR version. This radar can quickly figure out where things are coming from and where they hit. It can also spot small flying machines like mini drones from up to 5 kilometers away. And it sees big airplanes that are up to 50 kilometers away. It's good at keeping track of lots of different things at once and telling us what they look like. Even though this radar is really smart, it's not big and heavy. It only weighs about 30 kilograms, which is like carrying a small person. And it can still work even when it's very cold outside, up to minus 40 degrees Celsius. In a famous book about war strategy, there's a smart idea. Instead of hoping the enemy won't show up, be ready for them to come. That's what a Swedish company is doing with their new system called FlexNet. This system uses special cameras and different sensors like infrared or heat, seismic ground movement, metal and sound to find and figure out what's happening around. These sensors can work for a short time or keep going all the time. Also, the information they gather can be seen on computers with Windows or even on Android devices like phones and tablets. One really impressive thing about the FlexNet is a special camera called Scout Mark III. It has its own power and can last a whole year without needing to recharge. It can also handle cold temperatures as low as negative 32 degrees Celsius. This camera can zoom in from far away or show a wide view, like a regular camera lens. The Belgian Ministry of Defense really likes this system and uses it to help keep things safe. The Spanish military has gotten a new and improved system called Guardian 2.0, and it's got something really cool: artificial intelligence. This system can now figure out what things are on its own, and it shows all the information on an easy-to-use screen. This makes the job of the person using it much easier. Because of the special cameras on Guardian, the system can see things that are up to 20 kilometers away. And it's not just for looking, it can actually guide itself to shoot at things if needed. Next on our list is Abram X. Abram X is a next-generation truck, and one big deal about it is that it has a turret that works all by itself. And it's got a special way of moving using a mix of regular fuel and another kind of power, which means it uses way less fuel compared to older tanks like the M1A2 Abrams. This tank has a powerful gun that shoots big bullets, and it can hold 34 of these special bullets. There's also something extra attached to it. It's called the Kongsberg Protector RS6, which helps keep away drones using special bullets and another smaller gun. Other cool things about this tank are that it can go up and down smoothly, thanks to something called hydropneumatic suspension, and it has extra armor at the front to keep the people inside safe. Speaking of people, it needs a crew of 3 to operate. Next, we have Thor, which stands for Tactical High-Powered Operational Responder. This is a special weapon created in the US. Its job is to quickly stop groups of drones that could cause trouble. The people in charge of this project are from the Air Force Strategic Development Planning and Experimentation (SDPE) office. They're also part of the United States Air Force High-Energy Laser Weapon Systems. There's another way to stop drones using lasers, like ones in movies, but lasers have to focus on one drone at a time. Thor is different. It sends out strong microwave energy in quick bursts that mess up the electronics in the drones and makes them stop working. Setting up Thor takes about 3 hours, and it can get its power from regular electricity. You can move this weapon around in a container that's about 20 feet long, and it costs a whopping $18 million to develop. Companies like BAE Systems, Leidos, and Veris Research developed Thor. There's also PTKM-1R, a special type of mine designed to take out tanks. This mine looks for weak spots on the tank, like little openings called hatches. It's so powerful that it can go through armor that's at least 70mm thick. This special ammo, called PTKM-1R, can pick the right target by listening to certain sounds and feeling the ground vibrations. It's kind of like how you might aim at the bull's eye when playing darts. People have to put this ammo in place by hand, somewhere between 5 and 50 meters away from where the tank might go. So it's not easy for the enemy to spot. This PTKM-1R has two main parts, a launcher and the actual explosive part. The launcher has special ears or acoustic sensors and can feel the ground and seismic sensors, while the explosive part uses special eyes, infrared and radar sensors. When a tank gets close within 50 meters, the ground sensors tell the explosive part to go. It flies through the air in a special path, like a rocket, and its eyes scan the ground. Once it spots the targets, it explodes and hits the roof. Another mind-blowing military technology is trigger pouch. The trigger pouch was made by some really experienced soldiers from the Israeli Special Forces, is a special kind of holder that makes taking out grenades way faster. Like 6 times faster than usual. What's really cool is that it's the only one of its kind in the world that's both really fast to use and also safe. It can hold different types of grenades, like ones that make people cough or ones that make a bright flash. And to make sure it's really safe, it has 7 different things to stop anyone from grabbing it and using it without permission. Next advanced tech on our list is the MV3 Testudo. The MV3 Testudo is a remarkable vehicle from Croatia that's really skilled in making anti-terrorism gear. At a Special Forces exhibition, they showed off this cool platform called the MV3 Testudo, and it wowed everyone with how useful it is. This vehicle can do all kinds of important jobs. It can carry injured people, protect soldiers in combat, rescue hostages, gather information through surveillance, and even create distractions with light and sounds. Another cool thing about this vehicle is that it's controlled from a distance, and it can carry up to 7 people. There's even space to hold protective shields. Also, the name Testudo comes from Latin, and it means turtle, which is fitting because this vehicle is tough and can handle lots of different tasks. Next on our list is the Spider Boot Anti-Personnel Mine-Foot Protection System. These shoes are built in a way that makes them really strong and protective, with multiple layers to help keep you safe. In 2016, there were 61 countries all over the world dealing with areas full of really dangerous landmines. This means there's a big need for shoes like these. After a break from being made, these special boots are back again. These boots are way better than regular military shoes, and they can even withstand an explosion C4, which is really powerful and dangerous. A Turkish company called Baykar is part of a project called MIAS, which stands for Combatant Unmanned Aircraft System. They made a drone that can do some things even better than a fancy airplane called the F-35. They named this drone Bayraktar Kizilelma. This aircraft is really special because it can fly all by itself, and it's designed to be very hard to spot by enemies. They're even planning to make versions that can fly really fast, faster than the speed of sound. The first one, called Kizilelma A, is a bit slower, but the next ones, Kizilelma B and Kizilelma C, will be super fast, with 2 engines. The person in charge at Baykar, Selçuk Bayraktar, had been dreaming of making a jet-powered aircraft like this for a really long time. About 12 years. They were supposed to take their first flight in 2023, but guess what? They did it earlier, in December 2022. The Kizilelma has a special body that's hard to see on radar, and it's got cool features like a radar on its nose. The engine it uses gets air from 2 openings, and it has 2 tall fins at the back for steering. The plane can also move its small front wings to help it turn and fly better. This aircraft is pretty strong. It can carry up to 6,000 kilograms, which is like carrying a small car. And it can fly up to 35,000 feet in the air. What's really interesting is that it can take off and land on a special ship, like the TCG Anadolu, without needing a special catapult to launch it. At the 2021 Minsk International Arms and Military Show, the RST Gumbi robot from Turkey was showcased. This robot has a special job. It's made to find dangerous explosive things and make them safe. This is important, especially after a war, to clean up places with mines and other dangerous stuff. This issue is so important that even the United Nations or UN talks about it. What's really cool is that even though the robot is strong and can do tough things, it's not heavy. It can move on all kinds of surfaces, even on really steep slopes or ditches that are 40 centimeters deep. and it can work for 2 hours straight without stopping. Alright guys, that wraps up our video for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more.